There you go, Steve.
You look around the league today, and you look at why did Liam Cohen go into the Jacksonville Jaguars, and all of a sudden Trevor Lawrence gets a revelation, like I can play great. Sam Darnold can go from San Francisco to Minnesota to Seattle. There are pockets of innovative offensive minds, and I pray to heaven right now that Shedeur finds someone who can unlock just like these other players and just tell me I don't know if the offensive players have found yet, but he has not felt that yet. He has not seen that yet.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
The NFL world did a double take when Steve Young came forward in support of Shedeur. He didn't hesitate. He said Shedeur hasn't received the backing a young quarterback needs, and then he compared him to an all-time great. That's not small praise. That's a Hall of Famer making a statement. Do you agree with Steve Young? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Young didn't speak randomly. He wasn't guessing. He was highlighting a pattern the league keeps ignoring. Quarterbacks don't suddenly transform out of nowhere. They take off when the right coach steps in. We've seen it countless times. A new system, a fresh approach, and suddenly the same player looks completely different. Confidence rises. Decision-making sharpens. Turnovers drop. Everything slows down. Steve Young's point is simple. Shedeur hasn't had that moment yet. No coach has walked in and said, "This offense belongs to you. We're building this around your strengths." That's the missing piece. The talent is there. The preparation is there. The leadership is there. But the belief? That hasn't been consistent. Young isn't criticizing Shedeur. He's criticizing the situation around him. When a Hall of Fame quarterback says a young player hasn't been properly developed, that's not an insult. It's a warning about the system failing him. Now let's talk about Cleveland, because this is where the frustration starts. The Browns had Shedeur in their building, but they never fully embraced him. They didn't tailor the scheme to his strengths. They didn't give him steady reps. They didn't offer unwavering trust. One week he's sidelined. The next week he's thrown into action. Then he's pulled back again. That kind of instability disrupts growth, especially for a young quarterback. You can't expect development in chaos. Cleveland created uncertainty instead of structure. They treated him like insurance instead of an investment. That's not how you build a franchise quarterback. And here's the scary part. He's still flashing elite potential anyway. Even without ideal coaching. Even without a stable system. Even without full organizational commitment. Steve Young isn't saying Shedeur needs rescuing. He's saying he needs fairness. When that moment finally comes, and it will, the narrative will flip overnight. The doubters will act surprised. They shouldn't be.
And there are a lot of players that are toiling in challenging situations that don't have the help that's necessary to be great. I'm going to keep an eye on this one.
I won't lie to.
I'm going to keep a close eye on it.
Because keep in touch with him too.
He's in my sights, but it's really going to who's going to run that offense and make sure that it's somebody that has an innovative mind.
You get the job because you're an offensive coach.
But I'm talking about, look at the track, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan just track their tree and just find the innovation that's throughout the league. And when you have that someone, you're gonna have it. Liam Cohen goes again from the tree, goes to Jacksonville. All of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence says he's great. I thought he was done.
What Steve Young is really saying is something the NFL hates admitting. Talent doesn't flourish in a broken environment. There are players across the league stuck in bad systems, buried under poor planning and weak support. Shedeur is one of them. Young is basically shining a spotlight and saying, watch this closely, because he knows what happens when the right fit finally clicks. Quarterbacks don't wake up one day transformed. They elevate when someone builds around them, when a coach genuinely believes in them, when the offense matches who they are. Shedeur hasn't experienced that yet. That's not on him. That's on leadership. Young didn't name names, but the message was clear. Let's address Kevin Stefanski directly. His handling of Shedeur lacked clarity. There was no defined role, no steady commitment. No offensive identity is built around him. That's not quarterback development. That's survival mode. Stefanski didn't position Shedeur to grow. He didn't adjust to maximize his strengths. Instead, Shedeur had to navigate uncertainty every week. And history shows what happens when quarterbacks leave unstable environments. They thrive elsewhere. Suddenly, the problem disappears, which leads to Todd Monken. This is where hope enters the picture. Monken has an opportunity to reset everything. If he brings structure, vision, and trust, Shedeur can finally operate freely. This is what Young means when he talks about great offensive minds. They don't complicate. They unlock. They simplify. They empower. If Monken commits the right way, We'll see a version of Shedeur the league hasn't prepared for. And when that happens, the narrative shifts instantly. Shedeur was never the issue.
Young couldn't have said it any better. I mean, I want to add to that. I mean, Sam Darnold is a prime example of that as well, having a coaching staff that actually believes in you. I mean, 5 different NFL teams, and now he's a Super Bowl champion for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is a prime example of what Steve Young was saying about a coach that actually truly believes in you. It sounds like Todd Monken really believes in Shedeur Sanders. We're going to see ahead of the 2026 football year, but you can get these type of results when you have a coach that truly believes that you are the guy. So congratulations.
Steve Young's take shouldn't even spark debate. Look at what belief does for quarterbacks. Sam Darnold is the perfect example. Written off, bounced around, declared finished. Same arm, same skill set, same work ethic. What changed? Coaching, trust, commitment, and suddenly he's winning. Quarterbacks don't randomly decline and randomly improve. They respond to confidence and structure. They respond to coaches who say, "You're our guy. We're building this around you." So why is that concept difficult when it comes to Shedeur? Why does criticism always land on the player instead of the instability around him? If belief revived Darnold's career, why wouldn't it elevate Shedeur? That's why Todd Monken matters so much right now. For the first time, it sounds like Shedeur might have a coach who truly sees him. Not as a placeholder, not as a contingency plan, but as the future. When a coach commits, everything shifts. The playbook adjusts. The locker room responds. Confidence grows. Results follow. So ask yourself this. What happens when Shedeur finally operates in a system built for him? What happens when mistakes are teaching moments instead of punishment? What happens when patience replaces pressure? The formula is simple. Talent plus belief equals production. If Monken delivers that, the league won't be ready. The signs are already visible.
Don't make a tweet, man. Let me make it even worse. It's going to amplify to make it. The thing is that people don't understand. You got somebody who live the right way. The more you hate on them, the more blessings come. And the more the blessing is amplified. The blessing can be, oh, all right, now some unfortunate circumstances happen, so now he out there. All right, y'all keep, all right, now he out there balling. Then y'all keep pro bowling, year 1. Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what you got to do. Yeah, for sure. For me, I learned a lot from the process. Yeah. Appreciate brother. I understand that. Sure. Always been good, man. Always been good. I got you.
Shedeur's journey hasn't been smooth. It's been complicated. From draft day forward, obstacles kept stacking up. Limited reps, inconsistent trust, an offense that never fully reflected his strengths. And still, he progressed. He adjusted. He learned. He displayed flashes of brilliance despite the instability around him. That resilience matters. Most rookies would fold under that kind of uncertainty. He didn't. People keep asking why he hasn't fully exploded yet. The answer is straightforward. Development requires the right guidance. Shedeur has the arm talent, the field vision, the leadership presence, the composure under pressure. What he hasn't had is consistent coaching tailored to him. That's why Todd Monken's arrival feels pivotal. He has the experience and creativity to elevate quarterbacks. He understands that systems should serve players, not the other way around. Now Cleveland faces a defining decision. Commit fully. Name Shedeur is the starter. Stop hovering in hesitation. This isn't hype. It's logic. He's handled adversity. He's shown growth. He's proven resilience. The Browns owe it to the franchise to take the next step. Give him the reins. Let Monken build the offense properly. Let Shedeur operate without restriction. Anything less wastes rare potential. Shedeur is prepared. Monken appears prepared. The only question left is whether Cleveland is prepared. Because when it finally aligns, everything changes. And you won't want to miss it.